a strong fire like this one. As it was coming down the mountain, it became so huge. We took our stuff, all our furniture out, we put it over the road. We thought it was safe there. I tell you, this fire was so vicious that it was like, there was like a dragon, something that was going, and then it boom all the houses in front of me, and I started to get worried because I could see that it was coming closer, and that was the end of it. That fire have destroyed everything that I had, everything. The only thing I managed to get out with was this bed.
December 2014 was a particularly moving moment for me. There was a fire on the outskirts along the graveyard, for those that know Hart Bay, and I'd gone almost around sunset to go and see what the families needed. And this one girl showed me something on the ground, and she was speaking Xhosa, and I didn't know what she was saying, so I asked her mom, and her mom said to me, she's saying that was my house yesterday, and she was pointing to a pile of ashes. And what moved me in that moment was to realize that the resilience of the community after such devastation, and they will rise and they will rebuild their lives, but we have so much to offer. And why would you not want to help somebody who's willing to help themselves? And so in 2015, I started Thula Thula. The name Thula Thula comes from Marie Makeba's song. And for me, it is that gesture of you just holding this baby. And for me, it's the community. And I will get emotional because the area that I'm sitting on has left almost 10,000 people homeless. My vision around Thula Thula was to pack groceries proactively, to pack toiletries proactively, so that when the inevitable happens, we're there and we're able to restore dignity. A toothbrush and a toiletry pack means someone can go to work. A bucket of groceries means dignity to a dad who can now feed his children.
When Jo came to me with her vision, I really liked what I heard and what I have seen, because it was something that was really lacking in the community in terms of crisis. The first day of fire, we go right where the fire is, and then we register people on site, and then we capture all that data.
Part of the vision of Thula Thula is to get the right relief to the right people. And so as soon as Fire and Safety declare a burn site safe for us to enter, we're there taking a register. We've recently had an app designed by a volunteer, so we're able to, within a few hours, register a number of homes.
It goes onto a database system automatically, allows us to collate it, give a unique reference number, and when we do handouts, we then know exactly who's coming in to receive. We can then take that off the database, mark them as having received it. So it's allowing us to do way more pointed deliveries so that we know that the data is correct and we know the right people are getting it to the best of our ability.
In handling a disaster response such as this, it is fundamentally important that we have on-the-ground local NGOs such as Thula Thula, who are part of the community and who enable us to facilitate the type of relief that is so vitally important for our residents during times of tragedy by rolling out much-needed relief items, which they procure through their donor networks. They are on the ground facilitating those rollouts whilst the city works on other elements of the disaster.
It's 7:20 on Saturday morning. We are here with an amazing group of volunteers who arrived this morning at 4 o'clock to start setting up field. And we have our victims. We calling them clients, they are our clients for today. They've received their SMSs with their unique identified numbers. They're checked and verified at the gate, and you'll see here we have people leaving with their collections for the day.
It was like a supermarket. Everything was there. And they gave me 7 bags. They said, enjoy yourself. I said, do your shopping. And I thought, oh my word, am I allowed to all these things? They said, yes.
Thula has been amazing in that all those donations they have managed professionally, in particular utilizing people within the Hart Bay area. And the way in which they registered people and the way they managed the handouts, we would never have been able to do it as a city.
One of our days in distribution of clothing, we saw 350 volunteers step up and say, how do I help? And it is so heartwarming and so moving to see cross-cultural, cross-gender, cross-religion get together and say, we're here to help you because you're our neighbours. But that's not enough. And what we need to look at now is how do we educate a community that is continually devastated by fire.
People need to be educated around fires. They need to know exactly what to do, what to have inside the houses in order for them to be safe.
If I have opportunity as a principal, as a parent, as a mother, as a leader in my community, to actually change the lives of my community as a whole, I would really bring in people who knows more about fire, like the fire disaster, to come and educate each education center, to give maybe workshops around how to prevent fire, and even if there is a fire, how to get out of it.
The city on its own, or government on its own, hasn't got the capacity to roll out risk reduction programs on its own. We depend on NGOs and big business to partner with us to roll out projects and programs to reduce risk. The challenge for us is to identify what are the most critical interventions.
We need to have a formulated plan for informal settlements. There needs to be a three-pronged approach in terms of we need to have education, we need to have an engineering solution, and then also the enforcement of that solutions. Now, in terms of education, I believe that education will change someone's attitude, which will then change their behavior. Secondly, we need to then have an engineering solution. So let's say you're going to increase the space of the roadway, which could be a natural fire break. And then there's the enforcement approach where if you're going to increase the passageways or the roadways, that needs to be maintained. So you need to put community monitors in place to tell the community, hey, you cannot build there, or you need to clear the debris from that area because that's going to cause the fire to spread. So that's the enforcement that could be done from a community level. And once you've got the three-legged approach or pronged approach working together, I'm sure that you'll have a much more safer community. These three won't work in isolation. They need to work together.
The passion around this is helping people and realizing that we've got so many people that live in such a dangerous environment. And I can only imagine sleeping at night not really knowing whether I'm going to wake up to screams and my neighbours or myself in danger. So I think from our perspective, preventative measures are really where we need to go. So for us, the reality is now we've got a number of fires that happen every year and we'd like to get that down and to minimise damage, minimise injury. And that's really around educating the people and educating the kids around how to do fire prevention, what not to do. So that's really what I'd like to see Thula going.